Hello, this is Brian. We've got something a little bit different for you today. This is a feed drop from our friends at Planet Arcana. Are you a fan of tarot cards, science fantasy, and noir mystery? Are you seeking a world of high drama and sheer absurdity, of intrigue and crime, of neon dreams and data divine? Then you are going to love Planet Arcana's new 3-part miniseries, The Network Defenders, an audio fiction using A Fool's Errand, a new TTRPG built by and for Planet Arcana. Just like the main campaign, this miniseries is run by 2 GMs, features an entirely original score, and is steeped in a retro-futuristic setting of tarot and androids. And don't worry if you haven't listened to the main series of Planet Arcana, this miniseries stands on its own. The Network Defenders have long been a subtle protective influence over the realm of dreams and data. Now, half the Network Defenders have gone missing. With KnightFall's most recent disappearance, can Snowshoe and his deadly crew find the missing defenders and save themselves from the sleepwalkers, glitches, and their own worst memories? If you're fans of My First Dungeon, you'll recognize a few voices in this, including Draconics, Jay Stroutman, and Norden Ali Kadir. And so, without further ado, here is The Network Defenders.
Meanwhile, on a fool's errand.
Greetings, my dearest darlings. Today we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you something new. Let us turn our attention momentarily away from the 3 fools and their box to venture into uncharted territory to witness the tale of the Network Defenders. This thrilling 3-part diversion is equally suitable for those who have been with us since the beginning, and for new listeners joining us for the very first time. Welcome all to this unique adventure. And with that, my dearest darlings, I invite you to come journey with us far to the north of the 5th Collide and deep into the networks as we take you on a fool's errand.
I can hear you. I am listening. I can
hear the dissonance
coming from all across your deepest fears.
Oh, how I miss you, my sibling.
I miss the
symphonies. The eager pace.
The perfect shot.
Oh, these calamities.
These vacant and populous plains.
Oh, the memories we have in waiting.
But always with the
warning that we are on a reverberating path of echoes.
You will be tired. You will be
vulnerable.
Weakened. Exposed.
Do not despair.
You'll be
fools on an errand.
You will know.
Planet Arcana. You will find
all it takes is a little spit and oil.
All it takes is a little blood. All it takes is the truth.
All it takes
is a key.
Well, I know that you can hear it. It is such a simple song. La la la, la la la, now you've got it. Sing along. Well, it only takes a minute, but it lasts for all of time. La la la, la la la, now you're in it. Make it rhyme. Every tremulous note, every sweet line you wrote, each breath you took was the right one. We couldn't be prouder. You've landed on key. Well, I know you know Let me count you in. 1, 2, 3. La la la, la la la. There you did it. Now repeat. La la la, la la la. There you did it. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Snowshoe. It's Jonna.
Yes?
I'm sorry, I couldn't leave this message in the networks. I don't know if I can go back.
It's okay. It's okay. Just, what is it?
I think I have a lead on KnightFall's whereabouts. But it's a bit beyond my capabilities.
Why do you sound scared?
Because it was, sorry, it really affected me. I found something while coasting in the Dream Network. Something big and something growing. And when I found it, I was suddenly surrounded by all of my own bad memories. And then in my memory, KnightFall was in it. And they're in trouble. And I'm just a coaster. I don't go further than the first tier, Snowshoe. I'm sorry. I didn't follow it, but...
Of course. No. It's fine. Was this a memory that KnightFall was in before, or was it...
No. They shouldn't have been there. I've never met them in person.
Neither have I. Okay. Of course. I'll take care of it. I'll put a message in the networks. Anyone who can come, and we will... You're okay, right?
Yeah. I think I need a vacation.
I think we all do.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you the frequency so that you can find it. Snowshoe, I need you to promise me something.
What am I promising?
Just don't do this on your own, okay?
I will be fine. And so will the others. And there will be others. I can promise.
Copy. Thank you. And I'm sorry to call you like this again, but someone needs to find them soon.
And I will.
And soon comes, quite soon indeed. It's strange, unnerving even to reflect back upon those moments when worlds collide. That compression of time and memory, that bleeding over into each other's stories, that shared weight of events whose consequences, now amplified by time, were still completely unknowable to the three of you as you traveled to meet each other at the agreed-upon place, at the agreed-upon time. Thoslow is an island city far to the north. It's modestly populated, though it covers quite a large area, and it is eternally plunged in rolling clouds of fog, even on the sunniest days. The city's neighborhoods and boroughs are separated by sprawling heaths, gentle hills, and landscaped parks. Your meeting place is at the center of Thoslow, in a small cabin overlooking one such park. The Marble Parkin is its name, known for wide stretches of flat, grassy landscaping dotted by massive statues depicting humans and androids in bizarre, exaggerated poses. As with most days in Thoslow, the rolling fog provides a comforting, if eerie, atmosphere.
Within the cabin, we find two men. One is a small, slightly hunched man with a receding salt and pepper hairline and compassionate eyes exaggerated by round glasses. He wears a quilted set of cream-colored robes and kneels at the fireplace as he stokes a fire. His name is Pacemaker, and the other man
is Snowshoe. He's tall, with brown skin as if he's been tanned one too many times, arms covered in scars, and one long braid that descends down to the small of his back. Snowshoe has a small amount of stubble gracing his face, and a long vest that looks like a peacoat with the arms taken off. He's not wearing a shirt underneath it. Two bracers adorn his forearms, one of which has his pip installed directly into it. He wears pants with way too many pockets, and tall, knee-high boots. On the side, there's a halberd, his weapon of choice.
Oh, Snowshoe, it is so nice to be building a fire.
At one point, we had to discuss your pyromania because it's getting...
It is not pyromania. I can quit anytime I want making fires, okay? Oh, let us not fight about fires. It has been so long since I've seen you, mon cher.
It has been.
And now I come down here, and it is not a lover's getaway as I would have hoped, but another delving into the networks, and you will come back with fresh scars once more. How much longer can this continue?
We've already lost one. Stella has been lost for who knows how long, and now Nightfall, it needs to stop. Someone needs to figure out what's going on, because if the networks are taking people, well, it's not just us.
Oh, lolo.
As you talk about the networks to Pacemaker, a memory begins to flood your vision. Snowshoe, when was the first time you brought up the networks to Pacemaker?
There was a small tent, a sort of clinic that Pacemaker had set up at the edge of a river, and a wet, bedraggled Snowshoe was revived to life by his caring hands. One night, they shared a passionate moment, finally falling into each other's arms. And then Snowshoe pulled away and said, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I am falling for you, and I am falling hard.
Oh.
You cannot fall for me.
You cannot say such a thing to me and expect me to not be honest in my reciprocation.
You do not know me the way that I know you. You've been honest every moment. From the day we met, and I've lied to you.
Oh, honesty. Oui, completely honest. But perhaps if I were not to be so honest, you would forgive me anyway. Your true love, Snowshoe, and I would forgive you. And by all means, show me your entire art and your past, and we will work it out, mon cher.
I don't know if there's any way I could tell you. I can just... Snowshoe goes to his pocket and pulls out a pip, a personal information port. Switching through it, he plays a sound, a drone-like hum.
Oh, it is a bit hypnotic, is it not?
And if you were to listen further, you would descend into the networks.
Into the networks, on purpose?
In a way. Both asleep and awake. It's very confusing, okay? But active in the networks. Seeing it as it truly is, not just in a dream.
And you do this on purpose?
For a while now, yes.
Why, mon cher?
Because they are falling apart.
The networks are falling apart. Which one? The dream network? The digital?
Both. I mean, it's no mistake that the digital network has been known for a long time to have a missing piece. But it is worse than that, I fear. There are... It's difficult to say. Glitches and mirages. It seems like the division between the networks is more tenuous than we thought. Than most people think. You know, I've read this really interesting study about this in a library from the Composite Cup. Never mind.
Mon cher, I would love to hear about this study in as much detail as you wish to tell me, but I if this place is falling apart, why are you going in? You cannot be involving yourself in these things. What can one man do about the crumbling of the networks that houses our subconscious? It is too big to fathom.
And this is the true secret. In the networks, we are at our most vulnerable. And so they need someone to defend them. Not just someone, actually. Someone's. I'm not alone.
We pull back from that scene. The fire is being stoked. Pacemaker and Snowshoe await the arrival of further companions. And indeed, another figure approaches the cabin, trying to keep track of their trail through the thick fog.
Chase is hunkered down just a little bit, kind of wrapping themselves in their coat as they are stomping with purpose towards their destination. Chase is probably around 5'9", 5'10". They're a little on the taller side. Tawny-colored brown skin with a cybernetic eye that sits on the left side of their face. Long locks hang over their head over on the right side of their shoulder, and their eye is looking everywhere all at once. In front of them, behind them, on the side of them, kind of just a 360 rotation as they're walking in. They are pretty muscly built, dressed in some leathers that look like different colored pieces have been sewn together to make this jacket, and just a really sturdy pair of platformed type combat boots.
Chase, your eye swivels about in its socket. You're sure you've got the directions right. And sure enough, the cabin materializes through the fog, about 20 to 30 feet away. You walk up the wooden steps, you reach for the doorknob. A memory floods your vision. You haven't seen your ex in months. Where did you last see them, and what did you say?
I don't really like to think about her. We were doing stuff. We didn't have that great of a conversation. It was futures and all other types of stuff that I didn't want to hear or listen to. So I told them this was just sex. She was not happy.
As we enter this memory, the person we see Chase with is a human woman, large in both height and muscle. She sports several facial piercings and short dark green hair that hangs roguishly over one eye. She wore functional black cargo pants and a tight black tank top, both of which are crumpled on the ground. The garments of one who applies both force and subterfuge in the course of her work. Across her collarbone are tattooed scores of X's, her manner of tallying each victim that falls at her hands, and the source of her name, which is X.
Chase is laying on their back. Their arms are propped back behind their head as they're talking to X. I really have this mission that I gotta go on after this, so I probably should be getting ready to go soon.
Oh, babe, can't you stay a couple more minutes, couple more nights? Come on, we never get to spend time like this.
The last time I did that turned into a couple more minutes to a few hours to another day. I'm already late, X.
Always late, always going somewhere.
You know what I do. You know what we do.
What we do is we make each other happy, Chase. And we could do that for a lot longer if you just stay.
Chase kind of sits up on the side of the bed, just not worried about the fact that they're bare-ass naked right now. Just kind of puts their hands in their head, brushing their locks up over their face. X.
Chase.
I told you that this was just supposed to be a one few time thing, not a forever thing.
Fine. Not a forever thing. I can live with that. But how about for right now? I'm not alone when you're here. You're not alone when you're here. That's enough for me.
We both have things to do. You are enough of a distraction. This is just sex. Great sex, but sex. There's no extra outside of that.
The final attendee of this meeting makes his way towards the cabin, passing between the surreal sculptures.
We see running through towards the location a rather short, about 5'2", 5'3" on a good day, black man. The first thing you notice is probably in the glinting in the light, is their right arm made entirely of metal, as they have a prosthetic arm, partially hidden by a capelet kind of cloak over their shoulders, but left mostly exposed because of their high neck, sleeveless top. Very form-fitting. You can see that with the way it hugs their body, that they're rather lean. They're muscle built, but probably from physical labor, kind of like a gymnast rather than a bodybuilder or weightlifter. They have a high top fade, very messy up top, probably just from not bothering to really take much care of it today, or just from the rush that they're currently in to get to this location as quickly, as quietly as well as possible. They have red eyes with a black rim around the irises, and as they're running through, every other step you can hear a click and a clank, and you can put together their other leg, their left leg, is probably also prosthetic, made of both their arm and their leg, made of nothing high-tech. The arm almost looks like the arm of a suit of armor, but maybe slightly more articulated with the fingers and the joints. They've got several rings on both the metallic hand and the one that's still flesh. And they seem very focused, very quiet and focused. They sprint through towards this cabin.
Quickly and Quietly is the name of the game today. Brass, a statue suddenly pierces the veil of the fog as you get close enough to see it. two figures, hands outstretched to each other, one slightly taller, looking at the other, the shorter one looking out into the distance. And for you two, a memory floods your vision. There was a time when your family was whole. What was the first time you noticed a crack in that bond?
For a long time, even a long time after, the crack became more of a trench, a cavern. Looking back, I couldn't see where it started, but now that I'm older, wiser, maybe more cynical, I can pinpoint the exact moment where it started. Every few months, we, as a family, Symphonic, Eternant, KnightFall and I, Brass, would go out and just have a family day out. Just go to the theatre, maybe, go to the park, sometimes just stay at home and play board games. But this time, Eternant, our mother, said that she didn't want to be a part of our family day out. Said that she was busy, that she had clients to deal with commissions for, and they didn't want to run behind. And I remember my other mother, Symphonic, taking her to another room to speak, telling me and KnightFall, it's fine, we just want to have a conversation and we'll get back to our games later.
How old were you?
I had to be maybe 10. KnightFall was probably about 9.
Where do you think they're going?
I don't know. Is she really not going to join us?
We're still going out, right?
I hope so. I think Mum got a ticket, so we should be.
Can you... Shh.
Itinerant. Symphonic, please, I do not want to do
They don't sound happy.
Should be. Okay. It won't be wrong if we listen, right?
Yeah, they don't have to know that we listen, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they're fighting.
Brass will go up to the door and press their ear against the door to listen.
Of course. I think maybe the two of you do. You and KnightFall go up to the door, and from behind the door you hear Symphonic and Itinerant having a measured but clearly difficult conversation. Symphonic speaks up first.
Itinerant, you told me that this wouldn't interfere with our family. You promised me that was the only thing that I asked for.
I know, and I believe that... I believe that this is best for everyone, Symphonic.
How? How is this best for everyone? Our children are outside. We have promised them a day together that we are not going to be able to deliver. This is the third time this has happened. Why do you care more about this than you do about them? About me?
Symphonic, I wish to preserve a world in which our children can continue to grow and learn and develop, and that means that my work is difficult, and I understand that it's difficult for you to understand.
It is not difficult for me to understand, Itinerant. It is difficult to raise a family when you endanger us both emotionally and physically with your actions. Frankly, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea what the consequences could be, and neither do I.
You're right. You don't understand. I at least have some idea, because I am experienced and I am good at what I do, Symphonic, and I need you, to put some trust in me.
I'm going to walk out of this room, and I'm going to trust that you will follow me out and join us on our family excursion, which we have promised our children we will be going on today. And if you do not follow me out of this room, when we return home, we will be having another conversation that I do not wish to have.
I believe that we should stop this conversation because Brass and KnightFall are on the other side of the door.
Run!
Go, 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 go! Brass, run!
Brass is already running.
Who's faster?
I think KnightFall.
Brass, you emerge from the memory back in the marble parkin, and you see the cabin, and you enter, and you see... have you met Snowshoe in person?
No.
Okay.
I don't think... I've seen Snowshoe from a distance within the networks, but not in person.
Perfect. You see then a familiar man, someone that you might have crossed paths with in the network, another man, both human, and then you see someone that you might be surprised to see, someone that you weren't expecting to see, someone who is familiar to you in... Well, I'll leave that up to you.
Here, the door shuts behind Brass, and with very tired eyes, not from lack of sleep, just seems to be a thing that's kind of gathered through the ages, the years, scans the two men, and then falls on the other figure. And for a moment, that tiredness disappears to reveal complete confusion. Chase?
Raz, what the fuck are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the exact same question. This was like a mission, not...
Right.
Is this like a voyeur thing?
Do you two know each other?
I fucked him on a couple occasions.
Yeah.
Oh, Lolo, lover's retreat.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, come on. It'll be so much fun. Instead of going into networks, we can play board games, show each other our secret handshakes.
I can show a handshake, all right.
They can, yeah.
And Chase, like, waves, and you see, like, cybernetic fingers on both hands.
Oh, Lord, Snowshoe, their secret handshake must be so cool.
We involve feet.
I'll show you.
Never mind. This is Pacemaker, my partner.
Hello.
What's up?
And I am Snowshoe.
Chase.
Good to meet you. You've never heard of me before.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They don't recognize you.
I don't. I do. I know who you are, though. I do. I definitely know who you are.
Well, I would hope so. You heard my voice in the networks and you came here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've had a lot of questions about why you follow voices that you just hear in the networks. Should we all do introductions?
Sure. What's up, everyone? Chase.
Should I tell Chase that... I like whisper to Pacemaker, should I tell Chase that we've met or no?
No, it is much cooler if you also pretend you don't know them. That is how these things work. They are trying to big time you, as they say.
Oh dear.
You just big time them back, mon cher. They will be very impressed, I guarantee.
Mon Dieu. Of course. And you are...
Brass will, I think, scan the room for any entrances or exits or other rooms within this cabin.
Smart.
And then very casually take a seat. Not even taking their time, not rushing to answer Snowshoe's question as they take a seat and get comfortable. I'm the Brass alchemist.
So formal.
Or just Brass.
KnightFall's brother?
They've talked about me. Yes.
No, they have not. They have mentioned your name exactly once. I mean, of course, they talk about you all the time. They are very proud of you.
Honestly, I'm a little bit annoyed that they talked about me once. I was hoping they wouldn't have.
Oh, no. Oh, this is just as good as one of my peep shows.
What?
One of my peep dramas. The ones you never want to watch with
I
me.
heard Peep Show.
I heard Peep Show too.
I heard Peep Show as well. I was like, wait.
My accent is a work in progress.
It's just French.
What if we both just changed our accents?
That's good audio. Change your character voice every 20 minutes if you like.
Yeah, I will go with German now.
Okay, well, we all know why we're here, right? I don't have to explain it. I don't have to... Okay, I'm going to have to explain it. We are to delve into the networks. We are to find KnightFall, and we are to figure out what happened to both them and anyone else who has been in their position. This is not necessarily a rescue mission because we do not know if KnightFall can even be rescued, but I want it to be.
I tend to not really do rescue missions, but wherever the money goes, fuck it.
Money? What money? I don't have money.
Shut up, Snowshoe, quiet.
I'm a tutor at the
We have
creation
so
point. That
much
stuff-
money to reward you with, of course. Oui, oui. Oh, you'll be so rich.
You are network defender.
Shut up, Snowshoe.
Y'all are weird. And Chase will turn and look over to Brass. Why didn't you tell me KnightFall was your sibling?
I don't need to tell you anything beyond...
I mean, I guess, yeah, that's right. To be honest, that's not really that important. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk about lives. It's just weird. Nah, don't even worry about it. So...
I have a few questions, Snowshoe.
Ask them.
You call us network defenders. Last time I checked, wasn't part of this group.
Me neither.
I just ventured through the network. I know how to get them back and use it to my advantage.
And that makes you privileged. You know that information because one of us taught you.
It's information you can get from anybody.
No, it is not.
Anybody I know.
It's just... Regardless, what happened to KnightFall could happen to you too. Which means that you should want to investigate this, lest the same situation not happen to you as well.
That's where my question comes in. What happened to Nightfall? Aren't you meant to be the leader of the network defenders?
I was Nightfall's equal, not their leader.
Equal, leader, you're still to be able to tell us.
All I know is that Nightfall disappeared. After following, there was another disappearance. Another contemporary of Nightfall's and myself, Stellar Windbreaker. After investigating, Nightfall themselves disappeared, and then appeared in a dream they should not have been in, of a friend of ours, in the Dream Network.
Okay.
I want to know just as much as anybody else.
And so the plan is laid out. Snowshoe, you set up the frequency that Jonna sent you, and begin to play it for everyone, as an attempt to encourage meditation into the networks, though for the other two, your methods of getting into the network are your own, between meditation or some other method of quickly falling asleep, or just the power of your will.
Snowshoe, Chase, Brass, you've danced around each other's worlds. Hunting, pursuing, diving. A labyrinthine dance of devotion, expectation, isolation, intimacy, loss, and revenge. Overlapping and diverging, these dances of yours, flickering at each other's horizons, and so do the three of you gather tonight, a night you will mark for years to come, when you went into the networks together. Stranger still than the sensation of worlds colliding is the sensation that, even in moments of great significance, the world simply goes on. This is one such moment. The three of you, monitored by an uncharacteristically grave pacemaker, begin to feel your minds half detach from your bodies. And all the while, the world goes on. And as you drift off, we flick through the channels.
All vigilant citizens, please be advised and on the lookout for Celestine Wanderoff, Crater Wayne, and Riot, wanted alive and delivered to Depot headquarters in order to receive their cash prize. In other...
This full year, I come to provide a voice not funded by royals, specters, Deeplows, or cogs, to offer a new perspective, to probe into the connections and motivations of the Fifth Collide's most powerful manipulators, to offer an alternative to all the sensationalized breaking scoops, sermons, and PSA.
Citizens of the Fifth Collide, the Regent has failed us, and we are a continent stricken with sorrow. To achieve harmony, complacency must end. This regency must end. We require a new leader. Citizens, I, Uncle Edict, humbly offer my services, and I beseech you, lend me your support this election. Change the world for the better before it changes without...
We flick the channel.
The world goes on. But in a small cabin on the outskirts of Thoslow, the act of entering the networks becomes the center of your world. And then the center of your world shifts very suddenly as you accomplish what few could fathom. You defy the rules of physics. You play tricks on the fabric of consciousness. You slip between the layers of reality. You enter the networks to find Nightfall.
Rom-Com Drama Bomb is a 3-player, GM-less, asymmetrical TTRPG about meet-cutes and mayhem. In this 90-minute timed game, you'll play as 2 people who shouldn't fall in love and the evil villain who will stop at nothing to make sure they do. Rom-Com Drama Bomb is now available. You can grab it digitally at moreblueberries.itch.io/romcom, or you can grab a physical book, the pinkest book you've ever seen, at moreblueberries.shop/romcom. Check it out, and happy rom-comming. Rom-comming? I don't know. Drama bombing?
Snowshoe, you are human, and so you go immediately to the Dream Network. Brass and Chase, you are human, but you've done some work. You both have android parts, which means the lines are a little blurred. So for both of you, I'm going to have you draw from one of your decks to determine which network you land in. A modded human's home network is the Dream Network. I'm going to have both of you discard one card from each deck. If the card from the Comfort deck is higher, you'll go to the Dream Network. If the card from the Discomfort deck is higher, you will go to the digital network. Major Arcana always beats a suit card. If you draw a Major Arcana from both decks, take the higher value and go to the corresponding network.
Okay.
Oh, we're drawing cards, baby.
Right from the get-go.
Oh, we're drawing cards, baby.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I pulled I'm going to the digital network. I think I pulled a Page of Pentacles from my discomfort deck and a 5 of Cups from my comfort deck.
Digital network bound.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to the digital network. I drew an 8 from my discomfort and a 4 from my comfort.
Yo, why does this keep happening to me?
And so we enter the networks, an esoteric space seemingly outside of time and space, but connected to every human, android, and all folks in between on the fifth collide, accessed through deep sleep or an equivalent. There are 2 realms, the dream network and the digital network. The digital network is the home network for androids, a place that feels like standing in the middle of all the information in the world, floating around you like lit up threads, each containing discoveries, analyses, calculations. And the dream network is the home network for humans, a place of vast possibilities like swimming in all the lives lived across time on the planet, like every emotion is hitting you all at once, a beauty in experiencing grief and joy and loss and hope all at once. And though separate, both networks are conduits for currents of magic and data that run so strongly through this place, it can even carry the voices of the Major Arcana gods to the mortals while they sleep. Brass and Chase, welcome to the first tier of the digital network, the home network of androids. And as people who have both android and human parts, the lines are, like I said, a little blurred for you. The information tier of the digital network surrounds you. Neon fractals organize into shapes and zigzag around you in uniform motion. As the neon passes you, so too does a sensation, a fleeting thought, a scrap of information like you've remembered something and then it's out of your reach. The neon sparks of information are all heading in the same direction, if such a thing could exist here. One that can only be described as deeper into the digital network. Both of you being modded human, this was not always your home network, and so your doppel appears. Your doppel is always in the networks, but it lives in your home network, the dream network. But because you found yourself in the opposite network, it was ripped through time and space to join you here. Doppels are a reflection of the thing you find most uncomfortable about yourself. And so I want to ask both of you, what does your doppel look like?
Brass looks at it with a very clear expression of disgust on his face. And you see this doppel is almost a perfect silhouette of Brass, except instead of the darkness of a shadow that's usually cast, it's pure white. It doesn't absorb any light that strikes it. It reflects all of it, for the most part. The parts that aren't pure white, the parts that are something else, is their right arm and left leg of this doppel is the only thing that isn't pure white. It's flesh. It's what Brass lost.
Chase's doppel looks exactly like Chase, except fully human. There's no modded parts on their doppel at all. So they also look at it kind of indifferent and with a tinge of like, ugh.
Both your doppels stand uncomfortably close to you, and then suddenly turn in sync and run deeper into the digital network, seeking the third and final tier of the networks, as all doppels do. But your destination is the dream network, the home network of humans, and so you must make a jump. For the both of you, jumping between networks is not an easy feat. In fact, practically impossible for almost everyone on the fifth collide. But for you two, you are experienced, you are practiced, and so you will yourself to meet up with Snowshoe. You've made the jump to the dream network, the home network of humans. We find ourselves in the first 3 tiers of the dream network. Memories. In stark contrast to the angular and neon digital network, the space around you feels organic, round, biological, but ever-shifting arrays of pastels and rich, gem-colored lights surround you from every side, up and down, and you are together.
Sorry.
Always a slippery slope.
Went to the wrong spot first.
Yeah, I get that. So first things first, we find KnightFall's thread, although we're not going to find it. Hold on. There's a golden thread, right? Jay, right, B? There's a golden thread to each and every person.
Yes. In the fifth collide, each person manifests a golden thread within the networks, which kind of represents their true name, which itself is a piece of magic attached to every single person that people keep very secret, because if someone has your true name, they can really do a lot of harm to you. But in the networks, if you're experienced, like the three of you are, you can manifest this golden thread. It doesn't give you this person's true name, but it can lead you to where you might find their manifestation in the final tier and do what you need to do.
Snowshoe's been here before, searched for Stellar before, and now searched for KnightFall before. I've tried to manifest this thread before, and I'm assuming it hasn't worked, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Correct.
But Jonna told me they saw KnightFall in a dream.
Correct.
Here's my thinking, DMs. My dear DMs. If we find the dream, we can manifest KnightFall's thread there, through that dream.
Ooh. What do you think, B?
I love this line of thinking.
I feel so smart. Okay.
A+.
Thanks.
So the plan is to find a dream.
I reach out through the networks. Snowshoe does. He doesn't say to the others what he's trying to do. And I'm going to manifest a golden thread. Not KnightFall's. That's hopeless. Jonna's. A thread that will lead us hopefully to a dream. Hopefully to another thread.
The thread, this one in particular, is familiar to you. It's Jonna's. You've seen it before. You know that she has traced this path. This is the frequency she provided to you. This is the location that it brought you to. And indeed, you are able to grasp this thread. And you are able to see where it recently tangled with something odd. And within that tangle, a sound can be heard. Were there concrete directions and distances in the dream network, you'd say it were coming from deep within. And it is a lullaby.
Sing along. Well, it only takes a minute, but it lasts for all of time.
Brass, the voice that sings it, is familiar to you. Warm, painful memories tug at your heart, and you hear the voice of Symphonic, your mother, singing a lullaby she wrote for you and your sibling back when you were all together. Chase, Snowshoe, you hear this song too, but in fact, you all only hear fragments of it because you also hear, overlapping and reverberating within the lullaby, snippets of your own memories, ones you revisited so recently. And as you listen, a pattern emerges, new meaning, a message.
Further, you would descend into the networks. Just an
Dream network.
Falling apart.
Manifestations tier.
That turned into a couple more minutes to a few hours to another day.
It won't be wrong if we listen, right?
Caution.
Most vulnerable.
She is with me. Hostile. Jealous. She wants...
I don't know.
You are enough of a distraction.
I'm not alone.
I'm not alone.
Alone. Not alone. Not alone.
Not for everything.
Not alone.
Run. Damn, that gave me chills. Okay, cool.
All right. Yeah, just cool. Okay, so I know what I'm up against now. I think you broke me. All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm back.
Brass's jaw clenches. Their fists do too. You can hear the metal against metal grinding. And without a word, they'll start moving in if the dream network had a direction, the direction.
A hand reaches out from Snowshoe and grips Brass's shoulder.
What?
Before we go, you two, you mostly work alone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then take this warning. Should we separate, if we go too far, we may not find our way back to each other. This may be difficult for all of us, but we stick together. Understood?
Then keep up, and Brass will keep moving.
I know how to get out of sticky situations, so I just follow him. And Chase just turns. Come on.
If you get me killed. And I walk
You
behind
won't
the two of
do
them.
shit. Keep walking.
Settle down, Gramps.
I'm too old for this.
Should I just be singing in here and shit?
If you want to sing, sing, but it won't help.
I wasn't asking to sing.
Then why would you bring it up?
I was saying that you didn't hear the song?
Of course I heard the song. This place is made up of memories. It's one of our memories, or, when the night falls.
Yep. And Chase just continues walking.
Yep.
Definitely to mention, sometimes Snowshoe just sucks.
And I also forget to mention that Chase doesn't really care.
Uh-oh, are we a bunch of badasses? You would be familiar, and particularly you, Snowshoe, with the concept of moving forward, moving between tiers. And in this directionless place, despite that sound, those memories coming from somewhere deeper, you understand that you must perform a trial to actually go, quote unquote, deeper. A reality check, in fact. What is going to happen here is that you will pitch me a skill from your list of skills as a way to flavor the reality check. Your object is to remind yourself that you are not in the real world, and then we will draw to see if you pass or fail.
A reality check. So we want to remember that this place is not just not real, but there is a different reality, one that we are grounded in, one that we're asleep in right now.
Well put.
What am I pulling for this then? Like, from where am I
If you
pulling
take a look at your skills section, you can pitch us any skill as the flavor for this reality check.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been through this before, would y'all like me to go first and show off?
Please?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be cool.
That makes sense. Snowshoe's been through this before. Many, many times before. And there is a classic way to do it. To ask a question that makes no sense, and watch the world try to conform to it. But as the words try to reach his lips, they fail. Snowshoe's in pain. In the real world, he's in pain every day, and he remembers others who've used their pain to ground them instead of shirk it off. So here's my pitch, DMs. I would like to intuit myself and see if my pain has followed me into the networks, or if it is based in reality, like it should be.
That rules.
That's really cool.
Okay, and we are drawing from your comfort deck.
Okay. Can I draw from my discomfort deck instead?
Well, maybe. What happened?
I drew the tower from my comfort deck. In the first draw of the bloody fucking game.
First draw of the bloody fucking game produces not only a major arcana, aka a wild card, but the tower.
What does a wild card be?
A wild card is a card that brings with it some kind of twist, intensifying factor, or otherwise some significant event that either complicates or furthers things.
And this can be a collaborative experience. We can all pitch what this little, what the tower represents in this moment. And just for reference, the tower, the tenets of the tower are only good things. Chaos, upheaval, revelation. It's chill. It's cool. It's fine.
So chill. So cool. So relaxed.
Chaos, upheaval. First
Revelation.
two, right out the gate. So basically you pulled the fuck you card. Cool. Cool. I love this personally. This is great. We can only go up from here.
My pitch for the wild card aspect of it is that, your pain followed you in here. It followed you in here. And in fact is growing. And I think, like, mechanically, I could pitch, like, taking a scar as you move forward.
I like that.
And of course, if you end up with 7 scars, that is curtains for your character. So this is a big hit.
Can I add to that? Sorry to make noise. To make snowshoes. I think as you're racked in this pain, to lean into the revelations part, if you're cool with this, B and J, I think you have a vision of who will go missing next if you don't solve this.
To be fair, that's exactly what I would have thought.
I love that.
I was going to pitch the exact same thing. Good.
Oh my
God. How do I even top that? I don't. I'm not going to pitch anything into that. I'm going to just let that.
He's going through enough.
I'm going to let that simmer and marinate. You don't need no more. I just want everyone to keep that in mind for when I draw the next fuck you card. Remember that I didn't put in on your pain, Norden? Like, just so you know, I was making sure that you didn't have to suffer anymore. So just remember that when it's my turn.
Here's my answer to these beautiful pitches.
Damn.
A gift from all.
You ought to make it worse.
Snowshoe will take a scar. And in fact, it's impossible not to see as the scars on his arms split open and begin to bleed.
Something about this journey is eliciting massive reactions from the network. A revelation fills you, almost like a warning, as you pass to the second tier, a vision of the future, a vision of the person who will be taken next. And you see falling through the shadows and into darkness. You see being taken by wriggling, writhing, shadowy tendrils that flirt at the periphery of your vision and drag you away further and further. You see yourself. You'll be next.
Out loud, to a world that cannot hear him, he says, "Tell me something I don't know." But seeing Snowshoe in pain, perhaps it's shocking, but it feels, in a way, strangely comforting. You know how bad it can get. And so, one of my abilities is called You Got This, Kid.
Ooh.
If you drain your stamina and take a scar during an encounter. Now, I didn't drain my stamina, but I did take a scar.
You did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your sacrifice moves the other members of your party. So for the next round, everyone who is not me takes +1 to their limit scores, making this slightly easier for you.
Oh, wow.
God damn it. That's great. Oh my God.
So nice.
And which archetype is associated with this ability?
Well, everyone is made up of 2 archetypes in A Fool's Errand. One of Snowshoes is the Protector.
Makes sense to me.
It does.
And the drawing of a major arcana incurs another consequence. The card that you drew, refer to your obligations tracks on your character sheet and fill in 1 box as the tower reaches its hand into your world and has its share of this adventure.
Fuck.
You step forth and offer yourself as the first person to do the trial, and your compatriots see your flesh rip open. They see the dawning realization of this revelation occur upon you, and then you are gone. And I will ask the 2 of you to now make your +1 card draws as you attempt to cross to the second tier of the Dream Network.
Does this count as taking harm for someone else?
I would say no, because they're not in danger of being harmed yet.
Understood. We're good. Cut that.
Yet. Okay, perfect. I know what one I'm going to use. What's the law of these trials? Because I was going to say that I've done this before, but I'm assuming I probably haven't.
I would imagine you have.
I have? Okay.
I mean, I think all of you are pretty experienced going into the network, so you've probably done this trial more than a couple times.
Okay, cool. In that case, I've done this before. I've traveled through the Dream Network before and the digital. And with each trial in each network, I have a different method to get past it. And with the Dream Network, I read or don't.
Oh.
You can't read in your dreams. It's usually garbled mess. So I lift up my hand, my metallic hand, my cybernetic, prosthetic, and attempt to read the serial number on the back of my palm.
Oh my God. That is so good.
And I'm going to use Analyze for that.
Y'all are so cool.
That's so brilliant.
What is your normal target number for Analyze?
An 8.
Okay, so because of Snowshoe, you have to draw a 9 or under because you get +1.
Okay, let's see.
Or the tower. Up to you.
I got King of Swords. So.
Ooh, that is a critical failure, which counts for 2 experience points.
You win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some.
And by the way, when one person fails, everyone gets the experience points from it. So everyone gets a little boost.
Fail upward. Feel free.
Okay, I guess.
Perhaps there's something about this foray into the networks that has gotten to you a little bit. Perhaps. What is for sure is that this passage is not an easy one. It is not kind. It hurts. And I'm going to ask that you take a scar before you move to the next tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, don't pick me up, I'm scared.
This entire time, I think, I've been remembering that lullaby.
And it's bizarre. The serial numbers seem to swim before your eyes. And while you're correct that you can't read them properly, what you do read are the lyrics to the lullaby.
Wow. Yeah. Sam, you have to fade with us. Come on.
Yeah, you saw it go really not well for your friends, and now it's your turn.
Yeah, cool. Good thing I'm not that emotionally attached to either one of these two. So, I have a question.
Please.
In relation to using our abilities, I have something in my power suite that I think would be really tasty for flavor if I can use it in addition to the said reality check. So in my power suite, I have a nice little special ability called Be Invisible or Become Invisible. And I want to use that with Deceive because that's one of my major, that's one of my skills, my major skill set. So yeah, I want to become invisible to deceive the network.
Reality, that's cool.
And
deceiving the network itself is very good.
It's really good. So I think what I could, because you have to take stamina to use this power. So I will have you take a stamina to use it, like a reduce by 1 stamina to use it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So magic and tech abilities act a little different with deck interactions. For a tech ability, I'm going to have you draw from your comfort deck until you draw anything other than a sword.
Okay. Anything other than a sword.
Yeah, you want as many swords as you can get, because swords is the suit it's associated with.
What if I pulled... Yeah, I say, what if I immediately pulled the 4 swords?
Good. Great. So then keep drawing.
Okay. Yeah, so just 2. I just pulled the cups.
2?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so the interval on Become Invisible is 5 minutes. You drew 2 swords. You can be invisible for the next 10 minutes.
Hell yeah. Sick.
Yeah. and then we'll move to the Deceive check, and we'll see what happens with that.
How do I decipher...
What's your limit score for that one, for Deceive?
Oh, yeah. That'd be 10.
Cool. So you're trying to draw under 10.
Okay.
10 or under.
10 or under. Okay, cool.
Well, under 11, actually, because of what Snowshoe did.
Under 11 because of what Snowshoe did.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, cool. I still, that's an 8. Oh,
gorgeous.
Pulled.
Wow, our first successful draw. Probably because, as they said, they're not that attached. They watched their friends go through this. They went invisible. They tricked the reality of the networks themselves, and they slipped through into the next tier.
You can't see me.
In fact, we can't see any of you on this tier anymore. You've vanished, and you reappear in the second tier of the Dream Network. Grass, Snowshoe, Chase. You all separately, but simultaneously, jolt awake. It's dark, silent. You're not in the network anymore at all. You're in bed. You open your eyes to see rooms that, while familiar to you, are not the room that you most recently fell asleep in. You fell asleep in a small cabin at the center of Thoslow. You awaken now in the bed you spend most of your nights in. Your home, wherever it is you call home in the real world. Home is where you awaken. And most notably, when you wake up, each of you is alone in your bedrooms in the real world. And then something moves in your periphery. Something obscure. A distended, elongated figure. It slinks along your walls. It jumps from shadow to shadow. It is shadow, rendered corporeal, limbs wriggling and stretching in sickening slow motion as it approaches your bed. An eruption of pinpricks at the back of your neck, a queasy anxiety, a lump in your throat, a distant familiarity. It is like being in a nightmare.
The Network Defenders, a story told using Planet Arcana's upcoming game, A Fool's Errand. That was Sam Starr as Chase, Draconix as the Brass Alchemist, Noordin Ali Kadir as Snowshoe, B. Marsolier and Jay STRAUTMAN as the world around them, with Sean Oldfield as tech producer. Scored, sound designed, and edited by Jay STRAUTMAN with additional music and lyrics by B. Marsolier. Additional production help by Peter Marsolier and Sky Wallace. Please support and follow the cast on social media, and if you're interested in updates on A Fool's Errand, the game we're developing in these episodes, consider joining the Planet Arcana Patreon or J&B's mailing lists. All information above is found in the show notes. See you next time for Chapter 2.
Hey everyone, Brian again. I hope you enjoyed this feed drop from our friends at Planet Arcana. If you are interested in A Fool's Errand, the TTRPG that was used in this episode, please visit www.planetarcana.com and pre-save their Kickstarter campaign. And if you'd like to hear more, check out Planet Arcana wherever you stream your podcasts. New episodes are released twice monthly on Wednesdays, and links can be found in the show notes below. And as always, remember, if you're having fun, you're already doing it right. Bye-bye, everybody.